Hey y'all, hope everybody is having a great day. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make scrim tonight, but I want to say good job on being able to win a map against these guys. It's a shame that we ended up getting. I know they said they were 3.3k or whatever, so it happens. But it's about time you guys had a little more challenging scrim because we've just been absolutely rolling them. So it looks like we're doing the Drunken Queen Rush comp. I like the decision to pick a hit scan. I kind of overlook that sometimes just because you guys like to run the Tracer and the Genji, but it is pretty crucial to have a hit scan, particularly in this meta too. So just a good decision here. So ultimately, we have to do one of two things. One is set up our hit scan and either main or flex support on a long range sight line, preferably our and this composition is probably going to be our flex support and our hit scan. They need to go on one of two long range sight lines. The first one is from here, and you go here, and then the other one is directly parallel to that, which is where you guys are. The other thing you have to do is set up hits, or do your rush in more so like the LOS of the Soj or your core. You also have to close the gap. So right now this is fine. Realistically, we have our Soj here and our Kiri here, and then our Lucio and our Queen and our Genji you guys can set up here, or you can set up here and you can try to force point. But you got to figure out how to close the gap somehow. Right now it's just poke phase. You get Genji half, force out his deflect. He does have dash though. So we do an amp engage on our Genji. Not a terrible idea. And it looks like their composition is to basically have Genji play angles and then have Hazard kind of punish you guys for overextending. Oh no, what happened to Zoom? Okay, so I think we played a little bit out. That's more so like micro stuff though. And okay, yeah, we get a decent few trades here, and we should, now that we're up, because they just like crazy overextended there, we might be able to touch here, but if not, it's fine. This is a good restabilizing too, just like getting everything set before you go back into the fight. There goes, did we burn Suzu right there? Yes, we did use Suzu there. I don't know if we needed it, but that's whatever. Okay, so we want to go on the Kiri. Not a terrible idea, but you got to consider one of two things. Well, you got to consider a few things. One, this is kind of by default going to be a soft engage because Kiriko has her Suzu and her TP. She has her Suzu and her TP, so she's almost definitely going to get out unless she's just bad. Also, this isn't 100%. Is this in Quada's LOS? Okay, so Quada isn't really going to be able to see this. Our core just in general isn't going to be able to see this. Also, our Junker Queen can't get to it. So all you're doing here is forcing them out, which means once they get off the high ground, once they burn a resource, you need to leave. Unfortunate. Okay, yeah, you forced out resources and you just kind of disregard the Soj. But also, let's see. Let's look at what the rest of our front line was doing at the time. Yeah, so there's a little bit of a disconnect here too. But like our, the rest of our team needs to be putting out pressure on their hit scan at this time, or just their backline in general, while Zoom is taking this engage, so that he can actually do it a little bit more safely, and just so we get more value in general. I assume we just die here. Yeah, it's kind of bound to happen after Zoom went out. So honestly, just make the same play, but got to be a little bit more aligned between our front line diving together, but also synchronization between our back line and our front line. They take a lot of space. These guys are, just looking at the way they're playing, like I can tell that they are a trained team. These guys have played a lot of scrims together, or they just learn fast. Okay, yeah, hell overextension. Not even necessarily overextension. We kind of hinted at them after that, and it kind of comes down to the same thing as like, do they have resources that can screw us over when we make this engagement? Part of this is Queen kind of has to close the gap and int. Like that's a little bit how the composition works. Although that was just a little bit too fast. And I get it, we had to touch, but maybe instead we just go right side and force point or something like that. Okay, so this point is you have a long range sight line, you have a close range sight line for the most part. Your long range sight line is here, and your close range sight line, or your kill box per se, is here. I mean, of course, you can set up kill boxes in other parts of the map, but ultimately, unless you get to this part of the map first, you want to take here. This is an enclosed space. It forces them to get close to you, and it's a little bit more uncomfy for them. I mean, ultimately, this is like a practically match. This is practically like a mirror composition, but it's just a little bit better for you. Because we have to cross all this open space. And, okay, they ult. That's a little bit of a different story. Let me just get this. Oh, I do have them 5 seconds. Okay. We have to close a lot of open space to actually get to here, since they got here first. It's not bad to get our, our sojourn set up. But like once we're fighting this here, I mean honestly, maybe we route through this way, so that way we just have that enclosed space to work with. Yeah, I mean they ulted. Luckily, we didn't use anything, though, so we should probably open this fight up. I want to see a beat overclock. Kitsune engagement or a beat overclock? Although I would really prefer to see Kitsune with the blade or beat blade. There just needs to be some kind of combination here. Although overclock beat is pretty strong, especially if you guys fight this front line and then you have your Lucio Soj go around like this while you guys are fighting that lane, or the other way around where they all walk onto this enclosed space. And then while they're walking up through there, Val and Quada just hide here for a second. And then once the team gets distracted and they're looking this way, you pop overclock beat. They're done. There's Suzu. We get walled off. Okay, but we used 3 ults. That's too much. Especially having said they'd used nothing. Do we win the fight? Let's see. We should win the fight. Although I'm not going to make any assumptions. We do win the fight. Maybe we win the fight. Unless somehow their Kiri Hazard just like absolutely obliterates them. Nope. Okay, Lucio got them. We used a lot of resources to kill 2 people. Ultimately, we need to cut down on one of those ultimates. I think if we're going to do a Kitsune engage, just go with the Kitsune engage. And in that case, the beat might be a little bit unnecessary. It's hard to say, though, because people were Lazum was probably gonna die there. It's a difficult situation, but regardless, it's a rough resource trade. Especially having said, now they use nothing, and okay, that's just a rough rampage. Yeah, and also Suzu just. This is a little bit of a meta issue. It's just this is why Drinking Queen isn't really played. But I'm not gonna force you guys into meta boxes. Maybe match their has though. Once you see this happen, just mirror their comp, and see how you do with that. Ugh. Yeah, and look at how screwed up our ult rotation is now. Like we have blade and we have nothing, so we have to dry blade now. And even if we wait another fight. We probably still have to dry blade. We might be able to get Kitsune in time to do a blade rush, but oh, good pick. Get out of most of it. So this is a little bit of a map control thing, and I think this happens more than once too, where it's like we're running on them here, but they're set up over here, right? And these are the kind of flanks we got to watch out for. Now, don't get me wrong. These guys are disgusting, particularly their tank. But what you can do sometimes is you guys are relatively good at fight planning on your own and like making good decisions with the resources that you have. But now we got to get a little bit more into adapting to the team that we're fighting. Kind of looking at their tendencies and what they do, and then how we can play around that. If these guys take a lot of wide flanks, if we know that they like to do that kind of thing where they wrap around with their Lucio, then we go, okay, do I see Lucio? Do I see their hit scan? Do I see their tank? When the fight starts, I should say. And then go, okay, well, then we can anticipate a flank. For this map, take the right side so you can have the hit scan duel. Basically, you guys just chill until Zoom forces out Suzu, and then you run in. Okay, that was fast. What happened to our... Whoa, what happened here? That was a really good rail shot. And it's just kind of crazy timing. But, like, this is the kind of stuff you got to anticipate now. Because they have the same win condition as you. Get somebody low with rail shot. Or just hit scan damage or whatever. And then run on them. Honestly, it's just got to be an immediate Suzu. Like, the second that rail shot goes off, just pop Suzu reactively. Yeah. I'm anticipating they're going to take a lot of space up here. There's no way they're going to give you this entire block of space here. Probably get forced out right here. Yeah. A little bit of a timing thing. Look at where our tank is and look at where we are. You don't want to play ahead of your tank like this, especially when they have all 5. Or if you do, just get there and go really fast. It's a very brief thing. Oh, hold up. Jack's kind of cooking. Oh, he just comes in and fries them for it. Okay. Yeah, this is why I don't want to take you off the Junker Queen, dude. You're fucking good with her. Yeah. I mean... I think... did we just lose the hit scan duel? Because I don't think anybody died in this enclosed space, did they? We jump in. No, Val dies here. Okay. Honestly, kind of over from here, especially fighting a composition like this. If we lose our main support, Loki, if you lose anybody, and then they're just gonna kind of snowball us. Good trades though. This you could turn this fight. Realistically, you could turn this fight. How do we do that though? Quad is stuck out in the open. Shit. Right now, Quad needs to get back. You need to stabilize, and then you need to, now that you're up like this, you need to funnel on somebody. Probably, yeah, you don't want to go in. You don't want to go in. Honestly, I would. It's a difficult spot because you were already in and you got walled off. But probably, I would say call to break the wall, fan the hammer, roll, fan the hammer. Val shoots at it, Genji pokes it. You get back, and then Queen also kites out from here. We just kind of take a second, and then we reset. Lucio, Val can kind of... Val's already back. That's crazy. Val can kind of just taxi us. But playing here, essentially, you just... There's no effective range here. If anything, actually... Good knife, but... Do you get this kill? That's crazy. Okay. Yeah, but, like, look how it's, like... We're all kind of, like, executing a different plan here. Like, we have, like, Operation Save Quada, and then, Jack's just kind of, like, on a side quest tearing up their entire backline. And this is the kind of desynchronization that's, like, yeah, it's cool if you can pop off, but it's not going to win your team fights, especially against more organized teams. Kitsune engage. Counter Kitsune. We have beat. Jesus Christ, Jack. Can we bench this guy? It's not fair. I do want to see, though. Was our Genji engaging on the same targets as Jack? Yeah. I would say it's relatively fine for the most part. If this hazard doesn't die. Oh my god, this hazard. How do we lose this 1v3? Their Soja's looking... Okay, yeah, to be fair, Jack also died. I think it comes back to stabilizing. We did it relatively well in the first fight. I'm not picking on you here. I just gotta see what happened here. Bryce, you get the pick. Good stuff. Yeah, you got railed. Okay. Yeah, we... Realistically, this is the issue. Is I'm pretty sure our Genji's stabilizing right now. Yeah, our Genji's half health and stabilizing. If anything, Zoom needs to be like screaming for heals, and you just need to be directly back in there. So what? I don't want to get too much into people's individual POVs and stuff, because then that's where I do like your own micro VOD. Okay, you go on there, Kiri. Good follow-up damage here. That's okay. That's your mistake, right? It seems fine. Let your core deal with the Genji. You keep going with your Queen. Just keep going with your Queen. 24. You are the front line, they're the back line. Let the back line deal with backline problems. You help your Queen win the fight. That's all it was. All right. Oh, this is This console is so slow. Holy. Ultimately, I think we're doing relatively well here. Yeah, so we're fighting on this part of the map. We have Deadeye. What do we do with Deadeye? We do beat Deadeye. Beat Deadeye is the answer. Or we just zone with Deadeye. But honestly, yeah, we clear out all this space. We get them onto point, and then, you know, we have Quada walk around the corner like this and noon them. Or we can do, honestly, Kitsune noon is really kind of solid. But our ult cycling just isn't set up for that. Force out TP early, that's good. Okay, okay. So we want to fight for this room. Oh, it's just too deep. It's just way too deep based on where our team is right now. Do we get that pick? Nice. Okay, this is winnable. Oh, no! Unfortunate. We use beat and... Okay. I wonder if we're able to get our ult cycling back on track here. Probably not, because, yeah, we have 2 DPS ults. Honestly, we just screwed up our... This is why ult cycling is so important. It's really crucial to get it right the first time around, because if you get staggered like this, it's just so hard to have effective ult combos and, like, ultimate win conditions in general. I want to see this Deadeye. Yeah, Deadeye point, but I think this is mostly just timing issues. Okay. Oh dear lord, our hit scan. Okay, I understand, and I'm not necessarily faulting you for this Quada, but our hit scan does not touch point. Like, he can, but they come back and they run him over. I put money on it. Look, he's already back, and now our hit scan's stuck in this uncomfy fight. Okay, no, we do recover it relatively well, but you need to get off point now. Yeah, and it's not, this Deadeye is just, it just leaves you open. It just leaves you open. Deadeye here. Deadeye here. Also, holy, I think it is just an ultimate thing. Okay, yeah, so they did beat Downpour. And we did 2 DPS ults. It's just, yeah. And it just kind of comes down to the same thing. Are we still fighting here? Okay, I was about to say. That's good, though. Die on point. You guys got pretty solid point cap here. You know, roughly like a fight's worth, half a fight's worth. Routing-wise on this map, you probably want to. You can go this way. This is not bad. It can kind of give you access to their hit scan, but the problem is, if their hit scan's playing here like this, you're actually walking, you have to close all this open space to get to their long-range sightline. So what you can do is, if you can force this main angle here, and then we can go to this room, and then we can kind of go like this, maybe we can get around their hit scan a little bit, and then we can set up Quada like somewhere around this corner or something, and we can just walk point. We're dying early here. Yeah, this is kind of the same thing. It's like we're crossing open space. So maybe this is, if you guys are getting, you know, stuck in a point like this, play this corner hard. Everybody plays here, and then everybody plays here, and we make these rotates together, and we make sure they're tight. All right. The other option is to go all the way around. Yeah, I don't mind this either. Oh, but like, yeah, we're taking fights before the fight is happening, and our tank's back here. And now resources are already forced out before the fight. If you're gonna make this rotate, fine. Make this rotate, sit on this corner, wait for Jack to get here, and then go. Especially since these guys take so much space. We can't just blindly walk out and make these rotates. Beat Kitsune. I'm not surprised. Are we coming up on anything that's going to look relatively decent? Unless, okay. Our best option here is beat Rampage. I think beat Rampage, and then we save the Kitsune for its own thing. That's how we have to. That's how you have to save this ult cycling. Unless Quada, like, ends up like farming ult like crazy and just like gets ahead of everybody. For this part of the map, you want to fight for this left side. You need to fight for this left side to set up your casts. Although I guess you could run through here and funnel them, and just do like a 5-man rush thing. But you need to control this height here. It's a decent downpour. We just had like the Suzu of all time, so it's fine. This Kiri's flanking. Okay. Ah, yes. She TP'd into this. I think here. Let's see. So yeah, we got walled off. W Suzu. Unfortunately, Genji gets saved. Val gets the Lucio diff. This Genji needs to die. This is probably the only way we win this. Also, kind of the same thing, like getting locked into this 1v1 with Hazard. We need to find some kind of, we need to find the same target. Yeah, we just die now. All right. Right part of the map just kind of got split on the targets in the duels that we were taking. We going the long way instead? Eek. Okay. This, yeah. I would abandon this angle probably. It's gonna be rough. If more than one person decides to mark you here, you're gonna have a problem. Also, just the Junker Queen and the Genji fighting the same thing is so crucial. You do actually end up drawing a lot of aggro. But I guess you died without... Yeah, you died without your dash out, because you dashed... Yeah, you dashed in. If you're on an angle like this, I know it's a little bit more of a micro thing, but this is the kind of thing where it's like this is more about drawing aggro than actually like getting kills or anything, so you want to keep your dash unless you know you're going to use it to get a kill. Like, early dashing is probably going to get you killed unless you get the pick really early and dash out. But you need that escape tool. Nice. The Rampage worked out pretty well. Probably play up and then beat Blade. Use Deadeye to force out resources, then beat Blade. I'm a little less concerned about Deadeye being used. Like 3 ultimates being used if one of them is Deadeye, because it's not as big of a resource. Ah, yes. I thought so. This is kind of the same thing, right? Look at how many people are there. And then see who's missing, and then if you, this is like a really textbook thing where Sojourn goes on a flank, or just any hit scan with their ultimate goes on a flank with their main support, because it works really well. And we unfortunately got outbeated too. And then this Dry Blade is, yeah, we get a pick. Yeah, at that point, you use dial point. Very tired today. We could win this point. There's wall. Oh man, you're doing it again? See, look at this though. Like, the time we're still rotating. We're still rotating while Zoom's taking a fight. I do like the walking this way, though. Even if just Kiri Lu sorry, even if just cast Kiri walk up here, that's fine. Or like Val taxis them, and then you guys walk, and then Val and Jack walk point. But yeah, it's just gonna be difficult to win that because all they have to do is go at Genji's isolated. Okay, yeah, that's about it. And yeah, we might do a retouch. Go back to Tracer. But anyways, two big things right now. Number one, timing of engagements. Timing of engagements. We need to make sure that we are taking fights at the same time and fighting roughly the same people. There's just a lot of times where one person is getting ahead of the other, and because of that, we're not able to really effectively fight, and then we just kind of get staggered, and we put ourselves at a disadvantage way too quickly because of that. So don't be afraid to chill and just poke before, make sure everybody's ready before engage. And that can be asking if you're ready, or just look at the team and see what's going on. Thing number two, ultimate cycling. If you burn too many ultimates, or if you use 2 support ults in one fight, sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes you need it to win the fight, but it can really screw up your ult cycling. So, ult cycling, timing of engagements.